Yeah, it's super cool. When I first started in June, I wasn't expecting to get this far. I was hoping maybe next year, so it's super cool to qualify this year. I'm super excited.
To just start this in June, what has this process been like? How do you feel like you've been able to pick up this sport so quickly?
It's been a super up and down process. It's been a long ride. I've had ups and downs, but I don't know, just sticking with it, practicing a lot, and working through my process. And talking to coaches obviously helps a lot.
Looking back on the qualifying events, that was back in February. What was that event like, and just how'd you feel coming out of it?
Coming out of that was super amazing. I was super hoping to auto qualify, and I was able to do that. And so that was awesome. I knew towards the end of my match that I was going to make it. So that was a super good feeling.
So what are the next few weeks going to look like as you get ready to make that trip to Colorado Springs?
A lot of preparation. The practices are getting a little bit more intense, so just preparing on a little bit higher level for that event.
How about just the fact that there's going to be a lot of folks from around Northeast Indiana too? What does that say about the talent here that's going to be competing in Colorado Springs?
It's pretty cool. We have a very strong selection of people from this area, so it's pretty awesome that we're able to go and represent on a national level.
Honestly, I just feel really blessed that I actually got the opportunity to compete at the Junior Olympics, because never would I have imagined that I would be going to the Junior Olympics just a few years ago.
Gretchen, how long have you been competing in rifle?
4 years now. I started freshman year.
Did you ever anticipate that you could compete at a high level like you have been in recent months and recent years?
Starting out, no, I had no idea. I just started because my sister wanted to join, and I was like, I'll join. And then I honestly made it all the way here and just never would have imagined. So I had high hopes that I would do really well because last year I did not do well. Still ended up qualifying, but I really wanted to make up for the score I had last year, and I did great, honestly.
To see all that hard work pay off, just how gratifying is it when you saw your name on that list of qualifiers?
It was really great, yeah. I don't know how to describe it in words, but I was just really happy. For the next few weeks, we're going to be practicing pretty much every single day, just getting ready, making sure we're more prepared than the usual season. And just making sure we're ready for just the differences on the range back in Colorado.
What would you consider a successful trip when you compete at the Junior Olympics?
For me, I honestly really want to make it into the finals. Last year, it was my first time. I think I did pretty well, and I think I've progressed enough this year that I think I can make finals.
Perfect. Anything else that you want to add that I haven't asked already?
Honestly, rifle, if you want to try it, there's a summer camp. Just take the opportunity. You never know if you like it or not. I didn't know, and 4 years later, I'm still doing it. You see where I am now, and I love the sport, so just give it a try.
It feels great. I've been trying for 4 years now, and I came up short, but this year I finally did it, qualifying in both small bore and air rifle.
How long have you been participating in rifle?
I started in 8th grade. My brother started doing it his freshman year, and so he got me into it, and then he went on to shoot in college. My sister followed, and I'm right there with them.
So it definitely follows in the family. Did you ever anticipate being able to compete on such a high level as you have been in recent months?
Absolutely not. When I started, I was just doing this for fun. It was just something I enjoyed to do. But as I grew, I realized this could be something for me, and I can actually compete at a higher level.
So what was qualifying like back in February? It was here at the X-Count. What was that event like, and just how'd you feel coming out of it?
It was kind of scary. I was really nervous to shoot. It was probably one of my biggest matches of the year. But at the end of the day, I felt good coming out of that match. It was a good match for me. I didn't know if I would qualify with my score, but I was really thrilled to hear that I qualified after both of those matches.
So what are the next few weeks going to look like as you get ready to make that trip to Colorado Springs?
So training almost every day of the week for 2 hours, alternating air and small bore, and hopefully pushing my scores up to compete at a national level.
What would you consider a successful outing when you take that trip in early April?
That's a hard question. I don't think I'm going to be top dog, win it all. But as long as I do my best and do something I'm proud of, I'll be happy at the end of the day.
So it's really, to us, amazing. Every year, like, more and more athletes qualify. So this year we had 28 athletes that qualified in air rifle and small bore. And then there's a men's and women's division, which is how they have historically broken them up in the Olympics. And then there's also team division, and they don't shoot a whole lot of that as juniors.
What was that atmosphere like here at the X-Camp? Because that was where the qualifying actually took place.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time because what happens is they start getting emails that notify them, hey, you hit certain scores. Every year they look at what scores are produced in the country, and then they take the top athletes. So it's kind of a waiting game. The other way you get in is you shoot some of the top scorers in the country, and those kids already knew that, hey, I shot a score that was high enough to compete. And it's not just high school athletes at that level. That's our pipeline for the Olympics. So you're shooting against people that are freshmen, sophomore, sometimes as old as juniors in college.
To see the work of these kids pay off, how gratifying is that to work with some of these kids and see them get the chance to show off their talents in Colorado Springs in early April?
So it's absolutely wonderful to work with the kids and see them put in the work, do what they need to do to be successful. It's a huge confidence builder for them as youth. It's also really neat to see how it changes them. The amount of focus and determination it needs to work at that level is just absolutely incredible.
So what are the next few weeks going to look like as you get these kids ready to compete at the national level?
So what we do is try to get the athletes to peak, which is very unique, but it's individual to each athlete, but it's trying to get them ready, build confidence they need to go out there. One of the things that we can't really duplicate here is the high altitude. So to try to get them to peak at that time is a really kind of a hard thing, but that's what we're trying to do right now.